Yeah, but what? I'm already streaming. Oh, at last. God, it's a tiny little box. What the heck's going on here? Hang on a minute. Flip. Try and get this to sort itself out. Come on. Big screen. Not tiny window. I don't know what's going on with Streamlabs, OBS, I mean Streamlabs. It's really doing my head in right now. I don't want a tiny freaking box. What's up with the resolution? Oh, this is silly. Right, yeah, I'm getting feedback now. So I've been having all these problems with Streamlabs, you know, the app, it's just stupid. I'm trying to get right, let me just go vertical, see if that's better than nothing. I just need to talk anyway, I don't really, oh, what the hell? Why's it flipped? Oh, let's try flipping cameras. Oh. Oh, this is crazy. What the hell's going on with Streamlabs right now? I just don't know. Alright, let me flip around again. Flip camera again to the other one. And turn it on its side. Can we get the full freaking resolution, please? It's still a freaking tiny box when I flip it around that way. Hang on. This is stupid. Let me think, what can I do? How can I fix this? I don't know. Switch cameras again. I'm looking on the computer right now, and it's just all messed up. It's happened before this, and I just don't know why it's doing it. Right, okay, I'm gonna have to. Right, I'll just have to do a video that way around, because I'm not going to restart it now. I'm just sick of doing this. I've just had nothing but trouble with this freaking Streamlabs lately. It's been bonkers. Everyone's going to complain. Hey, you're a postage stamp. You're a tiny postage stamp. I know. I'm a freaking postage stamp. Alright, so what I was trying to talk about when I was trying to do this live on my phone, because I'm sick of using I'm video encoding right now, so I can't stream from my computer right now because it's video encoding. Right, this conductive glue problem has been quite well spoken about. Mostly I've heard from Shango066. I need to give him a shout out because his channel is really, really good. He's come across this a lot. He first spotted it. He first came across this problem in old TVs where, well, initially he came across a bunch of problems where he had tin whiskers. Tin whiskers is like electrolysis process where metal forms into little spidery long tendrils of silver, or tin rather, which short out trimmer pots, control pots on TVs and radios, not to mention radios, because he does loads and loads of radios. He's really good for that. So he came across all these issues, and then he discovered about certain types of glue being conductive. I thought, that's interesting. I haven't actually come across that before, but then well, it's been a while since I did any repairs, and I don't think it was a problem in years and years ago, because the glue wasn't conductive. It just kind of becomes conductive over time. And I have a theory, and I think I've got a pretty good understanding about why this happens. And I'll explain what my theory is. And it's fairly sound, actually. But whenever you have an oil-based glue or a resin-based glue, the microstructure of the glue is very compact. It's very uniform. And as the material gets older, when it's with heat expansion, contraction, heat expansion, contraction, you get micro fractures in the substance of the glue itself, which absorbs moisture, right? So the tin whisker idea with the other materials, the other metals, is that the actual metal particles, like the ions of the material itself, start to bond and form these little whiskers. But with the glue, it's a loss of its the liquid part of it. You know when plastics dry out, right? You know when certain plastics dry out and become brittle. The reason they become brittle is because they've lost the oil content or the liquid content that made them subtle and soft and flexible. So when we look at these plastics or these glues which have become conductive, you have to ask yourself, why have they become conductive? And the only thing that makes any sense is the fact that they've lost some of that structure that made them flexible, and something else has to replace it, right? There's a vacuum in the material. There's like a vacuum. It's lost. It's been off gassing, right? It's off gassed. It's oil-based material, so the oil itself was probably an insulator, right? But once that oil is gone, you end up with little tiny micropores, little pockets of where moisture can get in, right? So moisture will ingress into the material if the device is left switched off and not heated for a long period of time. Then you come along at some point, switch it on, next thing you know, you've got a short circuit, because moisture's being built up in that void that was there before. If the unit had kept being used and being exposed to heat and was continually baked, the moisture would not have been able to get in there in the first place, like a sponge, right? So think of it like a sponge, right? This material, originally the sponge was full of oil, right? Or a glue liquid form that made it flexible. And as this had off-gassed, the material becomes like a sponge, right? Becomes like sponge-like. And something else has got to replace it. So moisture comes along. Hello, I'm the rain. Hello. We're going to... Oh, we need to find a new place to lie out. Chill out. So the moisture think, oh, this is a nice place. I can sit and lay in here. And so anyway, the dried out glue is now full of moisture. And you come along and turn it on and boom. Oh, yeah. And the moisture think, oh, I didn't expect to get electrocuted. But yeah, it's just a theory. It makes sense to me that that's the reason. And there's another thing as well. It's not just moisture, it's the contaminants in the air itself. Because we all know that the air is full of conductive materials. You're thinking, what kind of conductive materials? Well, look around you. The world there's aluminium everywhere. It's aluminium foil everywhere. Aluminium's conductive. And there's lots of stuff in the atmosphere which is conductive, which if it's in the moisture in the air and it gets into this material and it fills those little voids and eventually they condense and become concentrates in that dried up glue, it's going to become something else, isn't it? It's going to start to act like a bloody electrically conductive bloody whatever. So what do? You scrape it off. You've got to remove it because it's become a freaking pest. So anyway, I was working on this freaking soundbar, right? And the capacitor was gassy. And I was chasing my tail for quite a long time because it was a mystery. It was a freaking mystery. It was a freaking nightmare. I was screaming, Columbo, where are you when I need you? You know. Columbo, we really need you right now. His investigative powers would have helped me a lot. So, I checked just about every component on that board, that power supply board, right? I couldn't find anything apart from those capacitors being gassy and they were baked, right? And they had a lot of that glue lying around. It was right in my freaking face. That freaking white stuff. It was everywhere. You know, there's a saying, isn't there, that sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees. The freaking trees are the freaking wood, right? It was right there staring at me all the time and I didn't see it, right? And then I remembered what Shango 66 said about conductive conductive glue and conductive, yeah. And I started thinking about what he said. So I went back. I took a few steps back from where I was. I thought, look, I checked all these components, but I did find an anomaly. This freaking Mosfet, it's like a short circuit on it. How can it be? That wasn't shorted. I'm sure that wasn't shorted before. So it's time to pull the damn thing out. So I took it out. It wasn't even in circuit. I stuck it in the computer. Why is it dimming on me? I stuck it in the computer analyzer thing. Let's see if I can switch cameras a minute. Right, so it's laggy in hell. It's really bad. So I stuck it in this thing, right? And I never expected to see this kind of reading. I saw a diode from left to right to the junction, and then another diode from left to right in series with each other. That's not right. As soon as I saw that, I thought, well, that's not freaking right. Remember, I took the component out and I put it in here. You don't get diodes in series in a freaking TO220 package. That don't make any sense. And I'm looking at all this freaking white stuff, right? Everywhere. White stuff on the resistors, white stuff over here, white stuff all over here. How much current does it take to turn on a Mosfet? You're talking about microamps or nanoamps. Friggin' microamps. And that friggin' white stuff was right across those down there. It was right across all three of the legs. You know, the drain, the source, the gate. I'm thinking, I wonder. So anyway, I scraped it all off. I scraped off all the white stuff. Put it back in the tester. Tested it again. And guess what? It was fine. It was a Mosfet again. It was no longer two frigging diodes. It was a Mosfet. So yeah. No doubt that frigging white stuff is a bloody nightmare. So if you're coming across a similar problem and you can't figure out what the hell's wrong with it, your circuit, and you've got this white stuff everywhere, scrape it off. Separate the legs from it or something. Don't scrape it all off. You don't need to do. Just break the connection between the white stuff, the drain, the gate, the source. Make sure there's a gap, an air gap between each. You know, use your knife or whatever. But there's usually ferrite beads on there, so leave them on. Don't pull the ferrite beads off, because those are on there for a good reason. Stop parasitics. Anyway, so I did all that. And you know what? That thing's fixed. I ain't put it in yet. I've got to go and see my neighbour. But it's fixed. I know definite it's fixed. We're going to put it back together and try it out. Hopefully we'll get it back in by the weekend. God, I'm just so glad I found that. You know? Oh, right, I am... Well, right, okay, I'm going. Right, so thank you, and I'm getting too freaking old for this stuff, I really am. It's... What? Oh, I'm getting an error now. Error, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. What? You told me earlier, YouTube, you told me earlier the connection was perfect. What the hell? I don't know what resolution I'm streaming at. Anyway, that's it, the update. And I hope you heard what I was saying, because I just don't feel like doing it again. So, bye for now.